Record. Here we go. All right, awesome. Hello, everybody. This is Anne Marie, the Art of Healing, and this is the monthly call that I'm doing. I so appreciate you all for sticking it out with me. I am kind of getting like a little gargly, like post-nasal drip. So, yay for education, right? There are people who are like wearing masks at school again, like teachers and stuff. I'm like, well, that ain't gonna happen with me. I can't do it. Never did it I hardly did it the first time. I'm not gonna do it if they decide to pull it again. But anywho, as you know, I tried to do well, I recorded my monthly recording, only the audio didn't work, and the Raw Collective did such a beautiful meditation. I feel them here with me, and so I'm gonna let it go and let go and let them come through. We are Raw. We are the Raw Collective. Hello, beautiful, beautiful souls. We thank you so much that you tune in. We thank you so much that you support our dear one. We thank you so much. Why? Because you're investing in you. Truly, you are. You are investing in you when you do these types of things. When you follow people, either through YouTube or in this case, even allowing for a monetary exchange of energy. That is something very important because you tell the universe that this is important. You tell the universe that you mean business when it comes to either figuring out things in your life, clarifying your energy field, purifying your toxicity that is inside of your body. That toxicity will make itself known. And when it makes itself known, either in an experience that you come across or in physical dis-ease, as our dear one is experiencing, this is how spirit communicates with you, and indeed how you communicate with you, how your higher self, how your body says, hey, we need some help here. So yes, indeed, our dear one did her due diligence. She did her recording, but unfortunately, technology did not cooperate. We do not look at that as failure. We just look at that as an experience. Well, now she understands that when she does do these recordings, she must check the audio. This is all that it is. It is not us saying that we don't love her. It is not the universe going against her. No, no, no. This was simply something she needed to experience. Now she knows. Here we are again with you, dear ones. Here we are. It is such a joy to be able to communicate with you directly. This dear one is in a moving vehicle, and her computer is jiggle-jaggling. So we will just take that into consideration. In our last transmission, which never got to be listened to by anyone, we did do a meditation for our dear one's benefit, indeed for everyone's benefit. You understand that when a channeler channels, she always, or he, will always channel for themselves. And there is no coincidence that the people that are attracted to the channeler hold questions that are pertinent to the channeler. That is because like attracts like. There is no question why you beautiful souls show up all the time for our dear one, because there is a connection, there is a likeness, there is a soul recognition indeed. So we will ask you at this moment to kindly make yourselves comfortable, and we will conduct indeed a meditation appropriate for this now moment. The meditation that was done the other day was done for the other day. It is no longer relevant for this exact now moment. So we will ask you again, kindly put yourselves in a relaxed state. If you wish, close your eyes, rest back in your chairs, lie down if you care to. Everything begins with the breath. So indeed, breathe in, hold your breath, and exhale. Breathe in again. Hold and exhale. Each breath that you take is filling your lungs, indeed your heart, your blood, with oxygen. It is purifying your bloodstream with each breath you take. So let us give thanks to this wonderful system that resides within the protection of your chest cavity. This respiratory system that takes impurities and expels them through the breath. Breathe in and exhale. This is why, dear beings, this concept of covering the mouth is so very toxic for the human structure. Each breath you take, you are releasing a little more sadness, a little more frustration, a little more unhappiness. Breathe in, silvery, golden, white, loving light. Imagine it exchanging in the alveoli of your lungs, flowing into the bloodstream and traveling all throughout your body complex. Each breath is replacing love for what does not serve. So now you envision your entire blood system, the veins, the arteries, the capillaries, the incredibly fine capillaries all throughout your body have illuminated in this silvery, golden, beautiful plasma. And as this beautiful plasma is distributed so perfectly throughout your body by this incredible pump system, the heart, the lungs, the arteries, the veins, the capillaries, you notice that this beautiful silvery golden plasma is actually seeping up to the surface of your skin. And as it is pushing out toxins, pushing out waste that this body that was created so beautifully does not need anymore. You may imagine seeing it seeping out through your eyes or your nose. You may see it coming through your skin. And whatever comes up will just wash away. So as you imagine your body complex seeping this silvery golden elixir all through your pores, through the tips of your hair, all through your fingers, your toes. Now imagine it seeping into the body. Imagine it coating all of your internal organs, your heart, your esophagus, your stomach, your small intestine, the large intestine, the kidneys, the liver, the pancreas, the gallbladder, all the way down to your reproductive organs, all the way up through the throat. In honor of our dear one, let's surround the thyroid with this beautiful silver golden healing elixir as it balances the energy, as it balances the communication that is not happening in her body. And you go up, up, up your spine, into your ears, your sinuses, your mouth. All of those unfortunate byproducts of those that wish to maim and hurt you are often met in this area, in the eyes, in the sinuses, in the mouth when you eat, in the sinuses when you breathe in. Let us put a shield of love over all these openings to the body so that when anything of a negative agenda passes through them, they are completely neutralized. And so it is. And so it is. As we now look to the brain, this silvery golden elixir is now surrounding this amazing area of consciousness, this important CPU, if you will. It is going through every nook and cranny. It is seeping down to the core, to the very center of the brain, the pituitary gland. It is decalcifying, detoxifying this master gland. It is also surrounding the pineal gland, where it will detoxify, decalcify, and enliven the beautiful crystals that reside within. The brain holds on to heavy metals. And through your brain, imagine flecks of aluminum, flecks of fluoride being bubbled to the surface. See them exit through the forehead and rise up, up, up to source for purification. This beautiful, complicated, yet perfect machine, this human body that you inhabit, was originally designed to completely heal any illness, any trauma. But as your minds have been told otherwise, it has been interfered with over generations. But do not fear, dear ones, because you are stronger and more powerful than any dark program. You are filled with the light of all that is. That is what this golden silvery light is, this plasma. It is the love of all that is. This is who you are. This is your purest form. See yourself alive, enlightened, healed, whole. Okay. Okay. And that's kind of how it ended before too. They just kind of like stopped. They didn't bring us back. They didn't do anything. It just kind of like stopped. So did that resonate with you guys? Yeah. Hi, Marlo.
I am driving.
Okay, honey. Well, you just missed the meditation, so it's probably better that you didn't listen to it when you were driving anyway.
Well, that's oh, okay. Now I understand why I couldn't get in.
Yeah, because I wasn't really, I wasn't conscious. Sorry,
Sorry.
sweetie. You
No,
can
that's all
listen
right.
to it because we recorded it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna remove my spotlight. Um, hello, darlings. Do gallery view. So how's it been around the world here? How are we all doing?
Got lots of smoke out here.
Ah, wildfires?
Yes.
Wow.
And Washington.
Now, haven't you been having rain?
No,
No. Okay.
really dry and warm.
Wow. Okay. Anything else? Spring, how's Texas?
Hot.
Hot.
Yes. However, I've been including connecting to Gaia in my
Mhm.
meditation. And that's been pretty powerful. But then one day last week, I was like, it would be really nice to have some rain. And then sure enough, we got rain in like the worst drought ever. So
Wow.
I thought that was pretty miraculous. I don't think I can take credit for it, but I'm certainly grateful because it brought some lower temperatures for a little bit.
I bet. And you, Karen, how are you? Californian?
Yeah, doing well.
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad. The rains weren't too bad for where we were and kind of bypassed us. So it was pretty mild.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry I haven't looked at any news. So was there any bad damage or flooding or
There was some flooding as usual because after the fires, then the floods come. So, yeah,
okay,
but not too bad. I mean, they were making it seem so much worse, and it ended up being
of course.
actually kind of mild. Yeah.
Yep. All right, that's beautiful. So yeah, I started school and I had so much energy. I was on top of the world. And then my acupuncturist, because I've been losing a lot more hair. And I was like, it's kind of annoying that I'm finally getting hormones in the body. And now my hair's falling out. So she said, okay, let's stop uh the testosterone supplement. And it was herbal. It wasn't even like synthetic testosterone. And I stopped it. And then within 3 days, I was like dizzy again. And I was like, oh crap. So whatever, I'm taking it. Um, but I don't know. I'm coming down with something. Let's hope I'm not. Let's hope I'm lifting up out of it with this nice meditation that we did. Um, I'll feel okay. But my throat is just a little sore. But my mother's fine. I'm in my little place. So I really can't complain, right? I really can't complain. Yeah. Is there any questions or anything else you guys want?
I know I do. This is something that I wanted to follow up with you anyway.
Yeah.
You had helped me get clarity a few months ago because I kept hearing that I was going to be moving.
Okay.
Well, the messages continue.
Okay.
And I've been decluttering in anticipation of a move.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple of days ago in my morning meditation, I got, look, you can either move in joy or in tears, which are moving.
Ooh. Okay.
And it was like, and of course it triggered me like the Star Spangled Banner, there's been a lot of change going on at work, and of course, my birthday was right after the Lionsgate. It's like, oh, stuff is coming up, and I'm grateful, for the clearing, but
Yeah.
but it is kind of interesting because, like, the saga continues, and I have absolutely no clarity about what that's going to look like. It's kind of an interesting.
Okay. All right, let's see what Spirit has to say.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Sasha. Greetings, dear ones. I am that one that you know as Jesus. My dear, beautiful sister, you are being challenged in very obvious ways. You are being prepared for something that is non-existent. What we suggest for you, dear one, is to begin to declutter the fear, begin to declutter the what ifs, begin to declutter why isn't this happening? In your nervous anticipation of what could happen, you are literally scuttling the energy. So we ask for you kindly and wonderfully to remain in your present moment. Be in a state, we hate to use this, but this is popping up in this dear one's mind. But fight or flight, but not fight, but just flight. Do you understand what we're trying to say? Many people on your planet have only a suitcase to their names, so that if the opportunity or the need arises to move from one location to another, they do, and they do it easily. So if you have yourself in a state where you, if you need to, move from one location to another within a week's time, let us say, if you're in that kind of place of liberation, you understand that that is freeing to not have these responsibilities of, oh, I have to get rid of this, I have to pack this, I have to sell this. Now, it is contrary to all of your society's norms, is it not? You are meant to have stability. You are meant to have the homes. You are meant to have the things. You are meant to have the possessions. That is what you have been told is the best way to be. But in truth, most of the world, believe it or not, the majority of people are indeed in poverty, but you understand that that provides great freedom to pick up and go where they need to go, where they have to go sometimes. It is a strange concept for an American woman to be asked to consider, but we truly wish for you to remain in this state. Free that, let us say, that beam of creation that you constantly submit with your thoughts and subconscious thoughts and your active creativity and your miscreativity. You understand what we are saying. Clear that stream of thought. Keep it neutral. Be in, as we hear, hopeful anticipation. I wonder where I'm going. I wonder what the universe has ready for me. I am so looking forward to it. That's the answer.
Thank you.
Does that make sense?
Oh, it totally makes sense.
Okay.
And just to corroborate what you're saying, I sometimes have this flash of an idea that I just minimalize down to the point where I just take my bag, and say goodbye,
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right. All right, good. Anybody else? Karen, what's the temperature like in terms of new COVID in your world?
Yeah, I think it's sort of what you said. People are beginning to remask again.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
but no, I think I feel a lot more pushback this time from fellow
Good.
employees, and they're not gonna fall for it again. Basically,
Okay.
these mandates and things, I could feel a lot more of the mainstream of no.
Okay.
So they may attempt it, but there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot more pushback this time,
Okay. Well,
which
good.
is which is
That's
good.
good.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. Um, I want to share with you what I pray over my meals because I've heard people talking about that and I thought, well, I do something every time and um because I'm reacting a lot to food. I mean, I had one square of pizza the other day and I felt ugh, really yucky. So, no gluten. I can't have any sort of gluten or anything like that. But what I generally do is I say, may this food nourish and heal my body, and may all dark agendas be removed. And usually after I say that, like I start twisting and coughing, so like energy really changes. It really does work. And I just happen to feel it, very viscerally. So I think that's something that everybody can benefit, just praying over your food. Um, so yeah. Yeah, I was trying to add more foods into my diet. But just in general, I don't think my body's ready for it yet. Just a little bits, but I want to eat fruit again. A couple months ago, my neighbor came over with a big mango, like seriously the size of my head. It was enormous. And I just I just ate it in front of her and I was in bed for 2 days. Like it so reacted with my body. But anywho, that's an easy change though, it's easy. I mean, you just eat what you can eat. So So Marlo, you have anything going on there?
Sorry, I had put you on mute. I had muted myself because I was in traffic.
Okay.
Uh, Going on? No, just the normal stuff, lively stuff.
Okay.
Um,
Sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing you. Probably because you're on speaker.
oh, is that better?
Yes, thank you.
Just picking up the phone.
I like your little feather there.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I put it there one day and I think it's been there about 2 years now.
Oh, that's awesome. Do you have any sort of questions or anything?
I don't. Sometimes I think of things and when I come on a call, I there's nothing there.
That's quite all right. That's quite all right. Okay. I'm feeling like I should try and channel another energy for you guys. Something specific to our group that's present here.
Maybe.
We are the Arcturians. We have decided to drop in and chit chat a bit with you today. You may have so many questions about what is happening out in space. Are there really benevolent beings here to assist us? Oh, yes, yes. We surely can assure you that not only our collective is here, but many other collectives from galaxies far, far away are here in your immediate vicinity, let us say. Now, we have we abide by the agreement of non-interference. We cannot just show up in your living rooms, our blue selves and all. without expecting violence from your kind. So we do not do this, but this beautiful opportunity to connect with you, with this little collective, this is not interference. This you have welcomed. So here we are. We are a race of beings that have gone through all the shifts and changes that you in your race as Earth humans are going through. We have superseded the need for bodies. There are corporal beings, but your true essence is able to sustain itself without being incarnate. So, we are a race of beings that truly on our planets understand what it means to live on a living vessel, on a conscious being. You, in your evolution towards true understanding of consciousness, will at some point in your nearer future, not too near, but not too far away, will come to appreciate and truly ask permission, shall we say, to the mother, to the organisms that live on the surface, to indeed the plants, to the trees. You will communicate with them. You will ask their advice. We encourage you now to communicate with your plants. We encourage you now to merge with their energies, feel what they give to you. Let us say you have several houseplants. Do you ever, besides saying hello when you sprinkle them with water, do you truly touch them? Do you merge with them? Do you allow their energies to permeate you? This is something we would like to leave you with today. What do you have around you that is living, but yet you are not interacting with? It could be the bush outside your door. It could be the squirrel that's always in the tree outside. You live on a living planet. Everything around you is living, has consciousness, and deeply wishes to communicate with you. This is an important step in your consciousness evolution, to understand that everything holds energy, everything holds consciousness. Even your refrigerator has a consciousness attached to it. Believe it or not. Cool. Cool.
I'd love to know how that works. You know, the mechanical objects and things like that. Because like my mother always used to name our cars, you know, so, so I believe there's validity in that, but I just like, I understand the plants, but the mechanical objects, I would love to learn more about how they have consciousness, you know.
I'm trying to remember where I heard it, and that's probably why they chose it. Let me grab some water. Hold on. Need to get to my filter. Hold on, hold on. Talk amongst yourselves. Sorry. Do you like my shirt, huh? I bought it and I bought a couple other like artsy kind of shirts to wear to school. So All right, so I don't remember which channeler or medium or whatever it was, but I remember them saying that there are energies. Hey, darling, there are energies that wish to interact with matter. So they just say, okay, I'm going to become a refrigerator. And they'll be a refrigerator for a while or for a long time or not. And then they're like, oh, okay, I don't want to be a refrigerator. I want to be a plant. So they'll go in and become a plant. They can't come into us. They can't come into animals, but they can go around in kind of like 2D kind of existences, you know. uh you've heard of possessed objects all the time. So energies can possess matter, any kind of matter, really. So
Is that why
Yeah,
things just,
oh,
is that why sometimes like something will disappear and you can't find it?
I don't know about that. We can ask. Somebody have another question? Marlo, did you want to say something, or Karen?
oh, I just was going to say, I remember once that you channeled the toilet. Do you remember?
Yes,
Yeah.
channel the toilet.
That was so funny. So I go,
It was really
I guess
funny.
right. I still remember. That's how funny it was. But then it had its own message. So,
It
like you said,
really
matter.
did.
Yeah.
Did you
So
have you guys heard that channeling? It's on the YouTube. You can look it up. So at first it was really funny. So you want to speak to what you sit and shit on, do you? You know, so like that's how it like started out. But at the end it was like, really appreciate the engineering behind a toilet, really appreciate the function, really appreciate what it gave humanity and how it gave humanity a world of less bacteria and disease, and you know how it has given us dignity in a very vulnerable time, you know, during the day, right? So it was really nice. It's a very nice channeling. So you were asking about disappearing objects. So I had something happen to me when I was younger. I was just married. I was pregnant with my oldest son, and I used to go to my OBGYN back in Newport Richey, and I lived in Gainesville. So it was like a 2.5 hour drive. So like every couple weeks or so, I'd have to go. And I don't remember what it was. I think you remember those Samsonite little beauty cases. It was either the Samsonite beauty case that little popped open, it had a mirror that came out and little trays, and you put your things in there. So it was either that or a small suitcase. I can't remember. But I was getting dressed and I couldn't find it. Couldn't find it anywhere. Now, it's not small, right? It's not small. Couldn't find it, couldn't find it, couldn't find it. I said, okay, I can't find it. I went home, went to my mom's house, came back. Then when I can't remember this is like 30 plus years ago, okay? I walked into my bedroom. We had a huge California King waterbed, okay? It took up 80% of this little bedroom, okay? It was in the middle of the bed. Out of nowhere, it was in the middle of the bed. Now, this was a time in my life where I was getting a lot of paranormal activity. A lot of, I was having, you know, visions at night, and paralysis, sleep paralysis. So I mean, it was really creepy over there. It was like I used to get a lot of stuff. So that was one thing. And then I heard a story from a coworker of mine around the same time saying that she lost a ring and she prayed to the Holy Spirit, bring me the ring, bring me the ring. I want the ring. I need the ring. And it dropped on her counter. Like she heard a clink. And this was after a lot of prayer. So objects appearing and disappearing can happen for a lot of different reasons. Do you have like a specific thing that has happened to you?
I've had a lot of things like disappear. And then for the life of me, you know, I can't find them. Like one of them, okay, so I'm having this thing with clocks right now. I was like, let me tell you this. I was like, let me just back the story up just a little bit to set some context. So like my battery clocks, like the batteries are dying in all my clocks, the times are off. But I have this mechanical old style Art Deco clock that you have to have a key. Hasn't worked for years. I bought it used. I went to move it, and all of a sudden it started working, like by itself, but I couldn't find the key anywhere. And I knew I had just seen the key, but I am decluttering. So, but I looked and I looked and I looked and I thought, am I going to have to buy a new one? I looked for like a week, and then I finally found it. And this is like my special needs clock, so it doesn't quite keep time.
Okay.
Part of the theme.
It's
But it
funny.
was-
I decided to unpack a box and not too long ago, and I have all these little like tea sets with a sugar and a creamer and a teapot. I used to collect them up in New York. And there was a little bitty ceramic top for the creamer. Little bitty. I was like, oh, here it is. Clink. It's not there. I don't know where it is. I don't know if I'm losing my mind and it was for the coffee and not for the creamer, but I looked at it, I clicked it. I was like, oh, here it is. Not there. And I turned around and I was like, what happened to the top? I just put it on there. I literally just put, where is it? So bizarre, very bizarre. But I feel that a channeling is in order to answer this question. Because
Thank you.
what do I know? Okay. Well, we are the Fae, we are the fairies, and we are the masters of disappearing things from your realms. We oftentimes do this. When there is a charged energy in the home or with you in your constant state of openness to the supernatural, the channeling, this generates an energy. It generates an energy that we can detect. And we come oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes we will come and we will just boop, take something and put it in our dimension for a little while, just to see you guys go a little crazy. And then boop, we release it back to you. So that is one explanation of when things go missing. Now, dear beautiful ones, you do not quite grasp the concept of timelines. You remember a timeline where you possessed something, but you are presently in the timeline where that never existed. This is something you have not yet grasped. Also now, this dear one, when she was mentioning when her little baggage was removed from her existence and deposited in the center of her bed, this dear one was a little bit of a different spin on things because she was dealing with, let us say, a little bit more dense energy than we are. We do things playfully. We do things for fun. We don't do things for malice. But there are energies that would, let's say, jerk your chain a little bit harder than we would. So this is our answer for you, dear one. Think about the shifting of timelines. It is very prevalent right now. We love you. Good. So that's something fantastic. I never thought of that. Never thought of that. Can you see how my left eye is like weird? My right eye is buggy. All right, I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm not supposed to look at the screen anymore. I'm supposed to read books. and I freaking have not been able to just read a book. I'm always, always, or this.
Right.
Dang, I've got to detox off of technology. Seriously.
So you just opened up the cupboard, but like, no, I like Kindles, but I have conflicting feelings about that, because I do understand, that if you're around the electrical devices that, it messes up your energy, and I get it and I can feel it, but I guess maybe I'm like a in denial addict with my Kindle, or
Mhm.
are Kindle okay? I don't know, because I'm feeling the same push and pull with the books.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see what they're saying about that. We can see. We are Raw. We are the Raw Collective, and we are happy to assist you again. You are, yes, these devices all contain, can we say portals? They all contain some sort of transmittory device, which inherently makes it a portal. It is a portal for information. It is a portal for energy. It is a portal for frequency. If you use your devices in a manner that is of high frequency, you understand that it cannot sustain lower frequency. You will draw the lower frequency to your device by how you use it. Remember, always, always, always release fear. There is no fear surrounding this. You use all matter in a way that you all use matter with a frequency, whether it be using it to read your Course in Miracles, that's a very high frequency. Using it to watch pornography is a very low frequency, and inherently it will behave in that low frequency. That is when the portal energy truly, truly comes about. Because with that frequency comes a whole host of negativity. You also understand that these contain crystal energy or crystal technology embedded within it, especially these touch screens. As always, you are the master of your domain. If you say that this is used for good, and truly you use it for good, you are not BSing yourself, okay, by using it for low frequency activity, then indeed use it. If you are concerned about electromagnetic frequency, if you are concerned about Wi-Fi, then put it on airplane mode while you are reading. It significantly reduces the energy field around your object and merely becomes what it is. Okay, that's it.
Thank you so much.
Does that make sense?
It makes
Yeah.
a lot of sense, and
Yeah.
I really appreciate that, because this is something that I've struggled with, because I'm
Mhm.
trying to get rid of all my books.
Mhm. Mhm.
Again,
Yeah, books take up a lot of space. Yeah, they take up a lot of space. I mean, I'll tell you, like the Course in Miracles, this has a frequency to it. This physical object has a frequency. I don't feel it so much now, but in the beginning when I would read it, I'd touch it and I just get like, ooh, so I enjoy that. I kind of like books, but it is what it is. We live in the age we live in. And I'm telling you, on other planets, they don't have books. They have smart glass pads. They don't even use it, unless they're ancient or something.
Wow.
So Daryl lost his mom last month.
I'm
So,
sorry.
yeah, I'm trying to, it's hard for us to get together and work on his book. So anyway, Just keep him in your prayers. It really shook him up. So, yeah. Okay. You stopped driving, Marlo? Yeah. Okay. Any other thoughts? Any other questions?
I have a question. Okay. I had a question that I had heard something about, we're A Course in Miracles, and it was, I guess, channeled through Helen, right? That's the story of, and of course we say it's Jesus. I guess it's the Christ consciousness, right?
Mhm.
But I had heard, I don't know, I was kind of interested in like soul origins, like where are our soul origins?
Mhm.
And so I have questions about that, my soul origin, but that the soul origin of who she channeled was actually a Syrian, I think they said. But her, I guess as channelers, it has to go through what your understanding is, and her understanding was very close to Jesus, I guess. And so it got interpreted as that through her religious beliefs. But then I had heard that it was actually a Syrian-based being with the same messages, of course, of love and unity,
Mhm.
oneness.
Mhm.
But I always wondered about that. And then, yeah, and then soul origins. What is the meaning of that? If you're a Pleiadian soul
Interesting.
versus Arcturian soul versus,
Interesting.
and yeah, yeah. And
All
that's,
right.
I was curious about that.
Yeah, so what I understand for Helen, it's Helen, right? Helen Suchman. So
Right,
she
right.
was Jewish.
Okay.
She was Jewish. She wasn't even Christian, you know. And so she had
Right.
no idea what was going on. I don't believe so. Until later when she was like, wait a minute, my crucifixion? What's
Right.
happening here? Like, so yeah, I mean, of course they say Jesus is a blue avian, Jesus is Syrian, Jesus is whatever.
Right,
And
right, right.
you're asking about soul origin too.
Yeah,
What is the purpose of
yes.
that?
Yes, yes.
I had a reading with somebody and she said my soul origin was a planet with 2 stars. And she said she had no idea what that planet was, but that she's seeing it and that it was 2 stars.
Right. And I've had several and they're never the same. It depends who's channeling you. So what is the, not
Yeah.
purpose, but what is
Yeah.
the significance of it, maybe is a better word.
Okay. All right. I don't want to take my glasses. My eyes are too big. Let me show you. Mahoya ti amare ti show you. Kotere e awaya ti kiyama ea. Ahua te ka yesu show you maku tere chicho. Yasusha miyawa uya te kiyo umara te show duya kotere mahua. Ya te kehe masuf. I actually felt source presence like push down, and I got bugged out. So let me let me figure out what this is, because like my crown is like tingly right now. Let me see. I am. I am. You come from me. You originated from my thoughts. You began as a baby soul and experienced and experienced and experienced until somehow you ended up as you in this version of me, in this expression of me. Souls are merely extensions of all that is. Where you began is as important as what you had for dinner 3 weeks ago. At this point, it's far, far away. You come from purity. You come from love. You have experienced all things. You have experienced the hater. You have experienced the hated. You've experienced it all. But in all essence, you are one with me. So what'd you have for lunch 3 weeks ago? It's far away.
How beautiful.
Okay. Yeah, I'm the first time that I felt source come, cheapers. The first time that I felt source, I was on a plane going over the Rocky Mountains. I don't know if I was going to California for Dimensions of Disclosure or if I was, no, it had to be that. Because I've traveled to California or the West Coast 3 times. I did one for Tina's retreat, one for a retreat in Indio, California, and one for Santa Monica for Dimensions. Anyway, so, when you fly over the Rockies, it gets very turbulent. Every time I've flown over the Rockies, the plane just goes bonkers for a few minutes, but it just goes bonkers. And I was like, okay, I call God and I call my dragons and I call the angels. And I just felt this energy just kind of like bathe over me. And I almost like lifted up off the seat. It was very bizarre. Like my butt cheeks clenched so much that I felt like, I'm telling you, I don't know. I just tensed up, like my whole body tensed up. My thighs clenched, my butt cheeks clenched. And I literally felt like I like lifted off the seat. And I'm going through this intense thing. And I was like, oh my gosh, this feels so good. And I felt it was, I heard, I am. That's how it always comes through me is I am. He says it twice. And it felt so good. It felt so wonderful. And I jotted it down. I typed it down. I think I might have it in my notes still on my phone. But yeah. No. 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 It's not in this one. It was in my other phone, so it's not here. So I felt source consciousness. I felt source consciousness when I first healed, I did a healing or a session with Daryl before we ever met each other. When I just first knew him, I was like, well, let me help you. Let me give you an energy clearing. And in the crown, source came right in. So that was impressive. It was pretty impressive. So. Does that answer your question? Was that a good answer, Karen?
Oh, of course. My goodness.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, we have egos, and these egos want answers to
Right.
questions that simply do not matter, in the grand scheme of things, right? I mean, I loved how he said, I love that. is about as important as what you ate for dinner 3 weeks ago. It's long gone. It's long gone out of you. Very interesting. Very interesting.
And Marie, which Daryl are you referring to?
My boyfriend, Daryl.
Oh, okay.
Daryl, my boyfriend Daryl is a super soldier. He was recruited by the Navy, the Naval Secret Space Command. And he did a 20 in back. So that means they took his consciousness and his body, used it for 20 years while he was still living here on Earth, and then returned it back 20 years ago. So actually, he hasn't returned yet. He still has part of his consciousness up on the planet. So he has dozens and dozens of interviews, and all on YouTube. And yeah. So.
Was it the US government that did that, or yeah? It reminds, not to make a stupid joke, but it reminds me of Idiocracy. Have you seen that? Okay, so it's when the US military puts people in, they look for the most average male and the most average female, and they put them in a pod, cryogenically freeze them, and send them into the future. But the funding runs out, so they end up not where they're supposed to land, but somewhere in between.
Gosh.
And it's a very dark comedy, but it is really funny about how these, military running these kind of experiments and how things can go so horribly awry.
That's literally things they do. That's literally things they do. Yeah. So
It's unfortunate.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, ladies. We've had a good hour.
Wow. It flew by.
It flew by. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. I'm glad I recorded it. I'm going to post it on the Patreon, and yeah, maybe I'll even post it on YouTube. Just maybe we can increase our circle a bit. So, okay.
Thank you so much, Anne-Marie. As
Thank
always.
you.
Welcome. You're
Yes,
welcome.
beautiful.
Thank you for your support. You means the world to me. I can't even. No one is more surprised about my life than me. I mean, I'm just constantly surprised at what happens and all this stuff. And I'm so honored by your support, and I thank you. If you ever need me, you know how to contact me. Okay. Have beautiful evenings, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you. Be
Bye.
well.
Be well.